lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Scott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara, Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber Bomb, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento, swing y lo ponchó. Ponche de Alvarado, amigos. Hello, and welcome to another week of Phillies Weekly. Beautiful week. How about that, Jeff? 5-1 after going 2-4 2 weeks ago. I mean, we won one game last week, being swept by the Pirates. This team, basically, without Harper, turns it on, and it was amazing. I mean, Wheeler came back into the rotation. He pitched twice this week. That definitely helped, but this team was amazing this week.
Oh, Oscar, I guess playing good teams like the Cubs and the Blue Jays, they kind of got their revenge this week against the Blue Jays after losing 2-3 to them in Toronto. But what else can you say about Otto Kemp at this point?
Well, Otto Kemp, I mean, came from the minors, replacing Harper, and today he went 4 for 4. This kid is a hitter. I mean, you can see he's a natural hitter. I mean, tremendous job. And today, 18 hits? I mean, 11 runs. I mean, this team is ready to roll, and we're heading down to Miami. So we're on our way to Miami, and it'll be interesting to see what we do with the Marlins that have not played well. And we'll see what happens. But look, we have some incredible guests today. I mean, the one and only Tim Kelly has everything figured out. He told me he understands why the Phillies won only one game last week. We got swept by the Pirates, and what happened this week where we basically, turn it on in a way we haven't seen it. And then there is the great John Foley also joining us. He'll join us momentarily. And then later on, we'll have from Phillies Tailgate, Tyler Poitras will be with us, so we can talk a little bit about the All-Star game and some of the Phillies that deserve to be there. But with further review, here are the two guys. Here you go. Let's see. It takes time, man. This is a process. Come on, guys.
Hey, you know what? Trust the process, Oscar. Trust
the process. There we go. There you go. Look at that. Magic. I mean, it's magic. Hey, guys, great to see you once again. I mean, an unbelievable week for the Phils. Tim, you said you had everything figured out, right?
Yeah, all they had to do was have Otto Kemp play every day and get 2 or 3 hits per game, and they'll win every game.
It has nothing to do with actual plants and offices, though, right, Tim?
No, it does not, no.
Really? I mean, what a special. John, how are you, man? How's it going?
Doing good. I love the hat.
I like your hat. I like your hat too, man.
Looking good, man.
I thought only the kids wore the City Connect hats. That's what I was told.
Come on, man. Come on. We're kids. I mean, we're kids. At least I am a kid, even at heart. By the way, first of all, I think we should have started the program with the 4 of us here to say Happy Father's Day. This is a special occasion. The fathers have at least once a year we get a day. I mean, the mothers, they get it every single day, but the fathers at least gets it once a year. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. It's great to have you with all of us. So, well, let's start, Steve. I'm telling you. I mean, just when you have it figured out, we cannot get ahead. I mean, how hard was to get ahead? And look, I know Skeens in the last game, but even before that, getting a game in Pittsburgh was such a hard thing. And this week, I mean, we had an unbelievable weeks. I mean, let's show some of the kind of the stats, kind of where we are for the week. So the Phillies now they are a record of 42-29. We went 5-1 this week, and we're 2.5 games behind the Mets. I don't know. Let's talk. I mean, look at some of these numbers here. So 5-5 over last 10 games, 9-11 over last 20, 17-13 over last 30. Really good home advantage there. Now we're +11 at home only +2 after being 17-11 a couple weeks ago. And look, we played a very good Cubs team and a very good Blue Jays team, and we went up. I mean, above 500 teams, and our run differential went from 3 to 33. How about that? Magic.
Not bad at all. I mean, it's a case study in overreaction, right? Last week we were so down. We're looking at the team. This is a mess. How are they going to turn it around? And it's just a lot of it is not a satisfying answer, but a lot of it is just baseball. And you're going to have these ups and downs over 162. And you just kind of have to roll with it and bounce back. And that's exactly what they did this week.
It's a marathon, right? I mean, it's so I don't know, Tim, anything calls your attention here? I mean, left-handed, look at the difference between right-handed pitching versus left-handed pitching. It's significant.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would just say guys that you've been waiting for a long time to get going. JT Realmuto and Max Kepler are the two that come to mind the most. But, I mean, Brandon Marsh, Nick Castellanos, everybody had a good week. Otto Kemp had a really good week. Like, you had kind of the perfect storm, and I don't know how sustainable it is, but it's pretty opportune that it's happening during this stretch where you don't have Bryce Harper in the lineup to have really the rest of the lineup pick up the slack, because if they had continued performing the way that many of them have for the whole season and you're without Harper, this could have been a really tough time. And who knows? I mean, it was tough for the first few games without Harper, and it may be certainly until he gets back. But this week for sure was a really good week.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, it was such a weird week for me because I went to the game on Wednesday and I was talking to a couple players in the clubhouse, and I said, "Yeah, how's the vibes going around this team? Just trying to get how things are going." And pretty much what I was told was, and this was going into Wednesday. Remember, after they lost Tuesday, they lost 9 of 11, and they said everything's going great, like from multiple players. And they said, "Look, we win today. That's 2 or 3 from a really good team, and we can get our revenge against Toronto." And yeah, they did that. It just seemed like, I don't know, maybe it really was what Rob Thompson said to Tim today when Tim asked him what kind of spark Otto Kemp was, what Nick Castellanos said. Maybe it was just they get an infusion of youth with an Otto Kemp in there, and things just started to click. Who knows?
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, this team, when a few weeks, and I put it last week, but we were 12-2 within a 14-game stretch. Then we lost 9 or 11, and now we win 4 straight and 5 out of the last 6 games. I mean, this team is a roller coaster. But at the end of the day, you go back to the basics, right? We score more than 4 runs, we win the week. It has been consistent. Every time we score less, the 4 weeks where we have scored less than 4 runs, we lose that week. 1-5, 2-4, 2-4, and 2-4. I mean, it's automatic. Even if our pitching is not, and then our pitching got back on track also this week. Our starting pitching was amazing this week. I mean, I was 20 innings. Our starting pitching, 20 innings, 13 hits, 3 runs in 20 innings, 20 strikeouts, 1 base on balls. I couldn't believe when I was doing the starting pitching base on balls, I said, what happened here? This must be a mistake. I mean, this guys are amazing. I mean, and Luzardo back on track, that was huge. That was huge for the fighting. So it's a really, really great week at 3.13 ERA runs scores per game.
I still think we're not talking enough about just how good Ranger Suarez has been.
Absolutely.
And I have reservations about making a long-term commitment to him. But there is no doubt when he is on, it is special to watch, and it has an effect on the rest of the team where he just has an aura to him that even other really good pitchers don't necessarily have. He's been tremendous. I think it's out of his 8 starts, 7 of them he's gone at least 6 innings, and 4 of them he's gone at least 7 innings.
You take that first start out, Tim.
He looks like early 2024 Ranger Suarez when he was healthy and dominant, and if he can keep that up, I mean, it's just a lethal starting rotation. Oscar, you mentioned Luzardo. What do you have? 10 strikeouts, no walks. Wheeler today, 9 strikeouts, no walks. I mean,
they're a machine. They're a machine. We have the best starting pitching in baseball. It's no doubt.
Yeah. So we're always going to nitpick here and there what's wrong with the team, but starting pitching, I mean, that's going to take you a long way by itself.
Yeah, no,
in his last 7 starts, Ranger Suarez is a 1.17 ERA, and I know, Oscar, we're going to talk about this later, but that's all-star material right there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and Oscar and I were talking about that the other night. Like, you don't think about a guy that missed the first month as potentially being all-star, but he's putting himself in the case. I think Zach Wheeler will be an all-star. Jesus Luzardo is like one of those guys. I don't know if he can overcome those 2 starts, but other than that, he's been an all-star. Christopher Sanchez is an all-star candidate at the very least. Like, you're just in a great spot, and it's crazy that Aaron Nola is out a couple months, according to him, and not that the Phillies don't want Aaron Nola back, but it's not this huge. If you had lost Aaron Nola for 2 or 3 months a few years ago, the season would have been a wrap.
In 2022, we would not have made it to the World Series. I mean,
they wouldn't have made it to the playoffs.
Absolutely, we would not have made it to the playoffs. That's a great point. So, look, the numbers don't lie. I mean, there's a lot of people who say numbers lie. The numbers don't lie. When you score 4 runs, you win the week. I mean, that's simple as that.
Numbers don't lie, period. I'll just say that.
I mean, the facts. I mean, and there is nothing more pure than run score versus runs against, except when Kike Hernandez comes out to pitch for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, that guy, it's incredible. I mean, they threw him out in the 7th inning. I heard. To pitch out there, that's insane. That's insane. By the way, we're going to talk about Rafael Devers. He just got traded to the New York Giants, so we'll have that discussion in a couple of minutes. Let's talk about
Oscar. I want to add on to something for you about the 4 runs thing. This team is 32-11 when they score 4 runs in the game.
It's automatic.
It seems easy enough.
You're score 4.
You're going to win 3 out of 4 games. I mean, if you play that way. So let's talk about. Look, there's some core pieces that this team have lost. I mean, they've lost Harper. I mean, we got Otto Kemp that came from the minors. I love Otto Kemp. Otto Kemp cannot leave this team. He's the right-handed bat. We need to try him in left field soon to see what he's capable of doing in left field. But that right-handed bat, I mean, it's what we've been talking about that this team has been missing. Right-handed bat. Aaron Nola goes from a right ankle sprain now to a broken rib, which is fascinating. And then we know we've lost 80 games. Do we know exactly when he comes back? I know it's sometime in August, but
end of August, I believe it is. Right?
It's end of August. Okay, so we would only have him 1 month, which would be a critical month. I mean, I do believe that Jose Alvarado can help this team. I know he's he's disappeared from planet Earth, but I can guarantee you, knowing the way I know him, this guy's working harder than anyone in the Phillies organization to try to show everybody what he's capable of doing. And he's probably doing a tremendous job down in the Florida area, working really, really hard.
Yeah, I mean, he has an option for next year that the Phillies have to decide on. So how he pitches in September is going to go a long way in deciding that. And if the Phillies don't pick it up, deciding what he would get on the open market. So he has a lot of motivation, A, to just come back and make amends, but B, to get himself paid, basically.
Look, to be perfectly honest, I'm going to be as clear as I can be. I am shocked that we were able to hit as much as we were able to hit this week without Bryce Harper in the middle of that lineup. I mean, that combination of Turner is on fire. I mean, that guy is absolutely, the double today to start the game, and then Schwarber getting that base hit. By the way, Schwarber had gone away from hitting the way he hit today. Those couple of base hits, he was either home run, a strikeout, or base on balls. I mean, today he was great. I love when he hits the way he hit today.
Honestly, Oscar, if you blinked in the bottom of the first inning, it was 1-0. It was 2 pitches and it was 1-0.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it was beautiful.
It's just the attitude of this team seems to be next man up. I mean, every team talks about, but this team's actually doing it. If you show me this graphic at the beginning of the season and then told me the Phillies would have the record that they did, I don't think I would believe you. Looking at Harper, Nola, Alvarado, those are 3 core pieces, to say the least.
If you told me that, I'd think the Phillies are having the type of season the Orioles are having, or like one of those type of teams where it's just like a lost season.
Exactly. And it's just a testament to the guys that are stepping up in their place. Guys like Otto Kemp, who I know we're going to talk a lot about today, but, I just can't get over it. He's a great story. Injured in high school, undrafted, injured in college, undrafted, joins the Phillies, and he's bringing that spark. And Tim, I know you asked Rob Thompson today, and he was talking about, just sort of the energy. I think Castellanos talked about it too, the energy that, somebody making their debut can bring.
Yeah,
this whole era started in 2022 when Rob Thompson took over playing the young guys, right? When the daycare was still the daycare.
Well, and it started, they brought up, they gave Stott more playing time that year. I've talked about this with Oscar and Jeff, but it's when they acquired Marsh in 2022, even though he wasn't coming up, he was from a new team, still really young, it gave them a spark. When they brought up Rojas in the summer of 2023, it gave them a spark. They didn't have that last year, and I think it kind of hurt them. And I don't know if Otto Kemp is that. Like, they'll have Andrew Painter come up, but I kind of feel like it has to be somebody that plays more than a starting pitcher. Having a guy come up that, he's innocent, I don't know a better way of phrasing it, where he doesn't know what he doesn't know, and all the cliches you can make, where Nick Castellanos said it after the game, like he shows up 8 hours before the game starts.
Yeah,
so excited to be a major league player. Like, having that presence during a 162 game grind, and I get players get paid a lot, but you're away from your families, you're traveling all over the country. It's exhausting. It's exhausting even if you're writing or covering or whatever the team. Being a player and having to go out there and perform is exhausting, and it's a grind. And having these guys come up, I think it helps you kind of remember how special it is to get to play in the majors, and it rubs off extremely positively on a lot of guys.
What's crazy about
all the comments from everyone in a minute, but and then I think this one is valid to the point that we're talking about. What Tyler just sent from Phillies tailgate. I believe Alvarado comes back on August 19th. I mean,
that sounds about right.
Yeah, they'll give you a month and a half of Alvarado, which would be, believe me, this team is going to need it because we know what happens in the postseason. I mean, we're going to get some of the starting pitching going to the bullpen, and it'll be interesting to understand who is the one that does it. I mean, Andrew Painter, we'll talk about Andrew Painter. He had a start today. He did a great job today. He's going to be in the equation. It was filthy today.
Yeah. But by the way, guys, I wanted to add to the Otto Kemp thing. Like, I was in Reading this week, and I was talking to Carson DiMartini and a couple players. You should see the impact Otto Kemp has on the minor leagues. And this was in Lehigh. This is in Reading. It's the guy's like the guy everybody looks up to in that organization that's trying to come up. They're like, well, this guy can come up and he's undrafted, and we see how he's working. Like Justin Crawford said, he basically builds his regimen off of what Otto Kemp did, because Otto Kemp was kind of like the big brother to him, which is weird because you would think the first round pick would be the big brother, right? But no, it's these guys see what Otto Kemp does, and I think that what he's doing down there is starting to kind of affect what they're doing at the major league level, just him coming up. Like these guys, they know who he is, but they don't know who he is. But now that he's up here, it's like Tim said, it's just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air. It's a beautiful thing. This guy, he didn't have the pedigree. He's not the first round draft pick, but he just forced his way into the conversation simply by playing great baseball.
I love Nick. I love Nick. Nick is the best, guys. I mean, if you don't follow Nick Picone, you got to follow Nick Picone. He is the best. Is there a chance Harper is ready for the Mets series? Feel like he won't rush anything, even he's feeling great this week. I mean, look, I had that injury before. I mean, it is a tough injury. It is cartilage. I mean, it's a very hard injury to come. I mean, Tim or Jeff, do you want to bring us up to speed?
Yeah. No would be the answer.
No is the answer.
I think
he wants drama, guys. I mean,
give or take the All-Star break would be my guess. So maybe he's back a little bit before, maybe he's back right after. That's about what the range of motion is getting back. He's still wearing the brace though. He's fielded ground balls. He hasn't thrown. He hasn't swung. It's not close.
Okay, go ahead, Tim.
It's not.
You don't want to shut him down more than once. So if you shut him down, let's make sure he gets right before you try to rush him back. I know the Mets series seems huge right now in this moment. It's not going to feel very big.
I know Rob pointed this out today. We're only on game 70. I guess it's game 71 now. Like, there's time here.
Yeah. So this is an intro, and I want to bring in now. I mean, that we're talking about this. We're going to get we caught the Jays in the right time. I think at the end of a long road trip. Yeah, this was the 9th game that we're away from home, so I think it was great. I think they finished playing when they played with us. They left that day and they had not come back, and now is that they're coming back. So we definitely got them at the right time. But let's be clear, the way we manage or control Vladimir Guerrero in this series, that was really impressive by his starting pitching. I mean, that guy's one of the best hitters in baseball.
Even the bullpen.
I still watch him, and like when he does make contact, the bat has a different sound, and he was tremendous in the field during the series.
You see that split?
Yeah, I mean, that split was incredible. He had an over-the-shoulder play. He's a special player, but they did hold him in check, and I just kind of look at the Blue Jays and feel like they're destined to fade a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think their starting pitching, I mean, it's
fine.
Gausman and Berrios are good pitchers. I mean, not outstanding pitchers. They're no Wheeler. I mean, in that team. Yeah, with regards to Nola, he's going to come back in the. I mean, he's to me, he's not earlier than August. He said, I think he mentioned there's a show tomorrow. Anthony and the team have tomorrow. They interview Nola. They're going to have them in their show tomorrow, and I think he said 2 months.
Yeah, it's the Fightin' Words podcast with Anthony Sanfilippo and Bob Wankel. So
check it out tomorrow. I was there I was there jokingly the other day. I got in there and I said, because we had an off day, Anthony said that the Phillies were going to sweep the Toronto Blue Jays, and I said that he was kidding. And we swept the Blue Jays. So Anthony, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. So here's the biggest question, right, of this equation here. When Harper comes in, I think he's part of the platoon in left field. The bigger question is going to be, can Kemp play the outfield?
Well, I think the bigger, why do people worry about this stuff? No offense to, I didn't even see who asked it. No offense to that person, but honestly,
it's Kevin. Kevin,
yeah,
we love you,
Kevin,
man.
Thank you for listening. But honestly, I don't care. Whatever happens when it happens, let it be fun for now, and maybe it'll work long term that he can play with Harper, or maybe it doesn't. Right now, he's providing a spark when they need a spark. He doesn't. He seems to not have a position, which is kind of a problem.
Let me defer with that, Tim. To me, it's a big deal. To me, it's a big deal because it will save you some significant prospects if that guy can play left field.
But we've had this same conversation with Edmundo Sosa and with Derek Hall, and go down the list of
Weston Wilson.
Yeah,
I think that's why Kevin's question is a good one, Tim, because they've just been tossing just about anybody out there in left field, and are they about to do it again with?
No, but
we're all pretty excited about.
What I mean more is that we've had the discussion of, oh my God, what are you going to do? Edmundo Sosa is playing so well. Well, he cooled off. What are you going to do when Bryce Harper comes back in 2022? Derek Hall's playing so well. Derek Hall's playing in Korea right now, I think. I'm not saying Otto Kemp's not going to be a really good player, but people work themselves up over these. In 2 weeks, maybe somebody else will be hurt or whatever. And like I said, I don't think Harper is imminently going to come back. Otto Kemp, by the time Harper comes back, may not be hitting that well, or maybe you do try him in left field. We'll see.
To me, he goes to left field once Harper comes in. The bigger question is going to be, when is Harper back?
This is the thing, though. Right now, Otto Kemp's in the Bobby Dickerson school of learning how to play first base or learning how to play third base. But by the way, he's going to play first. But what's going to happen? He's only played 6 or 7 games in left field.
The fact that he hasn't.
I know you're close with the Iron Pigs. Was he capable out there in left field? It didn't seem.
My understanding is that he's an average, slightly maybe below average out.
I'll just say this: I was told by multiple people it's a work in progress.
Yeah, if he had been capable of playing the outfield, they would have been playing him in the outfield, because that's where they have the biggest needs. And not that they wouldn't have played him at all at the infield, but left field is clearly the area. And I think Weston Wilson's better than he's played this season, but he hasn't played as well as he did.
Needs at bats, man. He needs at bat. I mean, Marchand and him, they are everyday players that you have them playing once a week. And look, you need to be an artist to be able to play once a week and expect to hit Major League Baseball, Major League MLB pitching. So it's very, very complicated to do that. And it's taken Marchand a while to get accustomed to this. A while. I actually talked to him. Marchand had his parents both here this week, and I had the opportunity to connect with them. Really, really, really nice people. So Marchand is a really, really nice guy. That guy, bleeds Philly. So
he's an impressive guy. He's fluent in multiple languages.
Yep.
He has adjusted to being the backup. I think it took him a little, but overall, I think he's done a pretty good job. He's a really nice defensive player.
Yeah, look at that. This is what Nick says. Go Braves. Yeah, go Braves. Look, by the way, two things that I'll mention before the Go Braves. The first thing is the best defensive play of this year, Mundito Sosa in left field robbing Ozuna of that home run. How about that?
True, yeah.
Just don't watch the route. Don't watch the route he took.
Watch the result, not the route.
Yeah. Don't talk bad to me about the Mundito Sosa. He had the best defensive play of the year there in left field.
But I know we're talking about.
I think the left field situation is really it's sort of like a microcosm of what everyone's concerns are about this team, and that you've got all this talent, but it doesn't seem to fit together right. You got no left fielders. You've got, a collection of center fielders that you're not feeling great about. You've got a ton of starting pitching, and your bullpen's thin. So, to me, that's on the general manager. He's got to reshuffle some of this talent, and reallocate.
I'll go back to the
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish on. Go ahead.
No, I think it's on Dombrowski to figure it out this year in a way that he hasn't in previous trade deadlines, to say, here's where we can deal from strength and send some folks out.
I would not be surprised. Again, potentially I will, because Kemp have looked a little better than I expected at first base. That they play Schwarber at first one game to see how he plays in the outfield, to try to test the waters, because we need a right-handed outfielder, and if this guy is going to hit, 280 with, what he's been doing over the last couple of days, we're gonna need his bat.
I agree with your premise, but just from some conversations with Otto, it just doesn't look like right now they're ready to put him in the outfield. I think right now they want him to concentrate on first base and cut.
Yeah, it got overshadowed by the Trey Turner play that day. But remember Weston Wilson's adventures in left field, like just before Turner booted the ground ball. Like it's still a baseball position. You still need a professional out there. And the idea that just anyone can sort of go to left field is, I don't know if it's going to work.
It's not easy, but he's done it before. He's done it before, so it's not going to be completely new to him. Like, for example, Edmundo Sosa. Edmundo Sosa, I asked him plain and simple. I said, which part of the outfield you prefer to say? And he said center field, because the ball comes straight at me. By
the way, speaking of guys who need at bats, like Edmundo Sosa, I know he's on the team, but where is he?
Look, he was working so hard yesterday running the outfield. I was looking at somebody running in the outfield like crazy, and I said, and then he comes in with his earphones and, hey, what were you doing? I said, running. I gotta get ready. I got to be ready. So look,
that's my point about Kemp, is that the first month of the season it was like, oh my God, how are you going to find enough at bats for Edmundo Sosa? You got Stott at second, Bohm at third. Maybe you have to play Sosa in the outfield. And as it turns out, Sosa cooled off. Stott isn't hitting. Like, you had plenty of at bats to go around.
I think that's really, Tim. I think that's a really good point. And a lot of this stuff just has a way of working itself out. But I also think that doesn't mean you can't plan and sort of look into the not too distant future and say, look, we got this guy. We love his bat. Yeah. We love the energy he brought to the team. Where's he going to play?
I just think the problem is he's also learning how to play first base right now. It'd be one thing if he was sure at first base and you could spend a lot of time on days where he's playing first base, getting him ready to play left field or whatever in a few weeks. The fact that he's also learning how to play first base, it's like, I just think you kind of have to focus on that right now.
Tim, Jeff, have any of you guys heard why would they play Bohm at third and Kemp at first?
So from what it was explained to me, Bohm is more comfortable at third, and I guess he's a better defensive third baseman at third than Kemp. And Kemp has played first. He's only played 30 games there, but he had a first baseman's mitt. he went and got he was delivered to him. And I know he was borrowing first baseman mitts last year, but this year he's got his own. And pretty much he said to Rob, look, I can play first base and let's go to Bobby Dickerson. And
this idea of like, we bring these guys up, we're excited about them, and now you got them learning first base. Maybe we'll toss them in the outfield. This is hard to do at the major league level.
It is. I think the bigger thing is that Bohm is just better at third than he is at first. And Kemp looked a little shaky at third. And I don't think it's ideal to have a shaky defender at first or third, honestly. But I guess you'd rather have it at first.
Yeah, and the other thing, you're going to play playing Bohm at third base in the postseason. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. Where's Otto going to play in October, assuming he's here?
You're going to see why I put Go Braves multiple times here. And I'm going to tell you why.
Well, they play the Mets this week, don't they?
They play the Mets 6 times in the next 2 weeks. So the Braves are playing for their life, because if the Braves don't win most of these games, they're gone. I mean, they're basically gone. I mean, they lost today to the Colorado Rockies.
The hot Colorado Rockies, who are 5-7 in their last 12.
No, but listen to this. Holmes? He had a one-hitter in the 6th inning. They were losing 1-0, and they brought our dear friends Eniel de los Santos, and then they brought Jose Ruiz, and they scored 7 runs. I mean, unbelievable, guys. Incredible. But we're going to have to be pulling for the Braves in the next couple of weeks so they can beat most of those. They can beat the Mets as many games as possible.
I know people.
I get it, but I don't know about Go Braves. The enemy of my enemy is still my enemy.
I think
a lot of enemies.
There's something to be said for just getting the Braves out of the picture, because the Braves have enough talent that if they get hot, it's kind of scary. Like, wouldn't you rather just the Braves are like as much out of the picture as you can be, and it's a 2-team race?
And right now they're closer to the Nationals in the standings than they are the last wild card spot.
But this is a team that was 10 games out in like August 2 years ago and won the division. So the vibes don't feel right in Atlanta this year.
Absolutely.
But the talent is still immense on that team that I don't think you want to see them catch fire.
Yeah, so, I agree with Tim. I think you want to see them get buried.
Okay, guys. You guys, I'm pulling for the Braves the next couple of weeks. They can beat as many games out of the Mets.
Yeah. You know what you should pull for? The Phillies to do their job. That's what you should pull for.
Okay, so here's where hitting is, right? So we were like 12 about 6 weeks ago. We're now 7th in MLB, 4.7 runs a game. Our OPS is 8th in MLB right now. This is by week where we rank each of the weeks. We're still home runs is something that this team, I don't know. I mean, I was looking at the board today in the stadium and look at who leads this team in RBIs. And look, it's Schwarber, and then everybody else has like 30. I mean, maybe
it's not a lot.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's and Estad is like 5th in RBIs. So we're going to need some of these guys to start hitting more home runs. At least we should be in the top 10. I mean, as a team, we continue to be in good shape in terms of strikeouts and base on balls. I'll show you a few things. This is consistent with what we've done over the last few weeks in terms of being 23rd, hitting with runners in scoring position. I mean, today, I think we what was it? March struck out. I mean, with Mena third. I mean, we continue to have this dynamics that we need to be much better in this category so we can be much more effective. Our pitching. Our starting pitching this week was amazing. I mean, amazing. I show you some of those numbers: 20 innings, three earned runs. I mean, that is truly amazing. And they were 12th, I think 13th last week. We're down to 7th. Now this week, I gotta get to the. Let me see if this is the one that does it. No, that's not the one. I'm looking for the one that has it on the side. But I'll keep going like this so I can make the screen a little bigger. But look, the biggest issue here is our relief pitching. This continues to be a challenge for us. That's kind of the biggest opportunity. There's a wider gap now between, look, we were 2nd in saves. Now we're 7th. So you're seeing a wider gap. And the question that I had for you is, should Kerr play a much better role, a much bigger role in the bullpen than the way he's been playing it up to now?
Were you reading my story today, Oscar? Because I kind of leaned into
that. I haven't had time, dude. I mean,
You walked right into that, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read it. I was plagiarizing here. I mean, just throw it out there.
Well, you're allowed to. We are comrades.
Yeah. No, but look, I put it here. I mean, I put it a few minutes ago, and that's, I mean, should Kerkering play a bigger role than the way he's playing on right now?
It seems like that's going to be a possibility.
15, 20 games now. He's been dominant. One earned run allowed in 18 appearances. I know he has allowed some inherited runners to score. I had a conversation with somebody on Twitter about that today. But, you take a look at the guys you got. Kerkering's, seizing the opportunity right now and stepping up. So I think you give him a bigger role until somebody else steps up or until he starts to struggle.
So here's where kind of our
it seems like that's going to be the case.
What was that?
It seems like that's going to be the case just from talking to Kerkering. It seems like he's going to get an expanded role.
Yeah,
and they're giving him it. Like they gave him it yesterday. He had Bichette, Kirk, and Guerrero, and 1, 2, 3. It wasn't his best stuff. He admitted that. Didn't have his sweeper, but he got him.
He has not allowed to run in the last 15 days.
If anyone's the authority on Kerkering, it's Jeff. They are tight.
They're really tight. They're really tight.
If Kerkering can seize that role, right? It's not just for this year. If he can establish himself as we've talked about him as the closer of the future for a couple of years now. If he can establish himself in that role right now, then you're set for a while at closer.
And he's working on a splitter too, so that fourth pitch could be something.
So we're 6 on a stolen bases, 0.89 per game, and then we're stealing at an 82.7% success rate, which is 5th in MLB. Our defense, and I gotta improve this. I mean, only double plays, we're 25th in MLB, and we're 4th on errors. But I put a big question mark on that number because we don't get to a lot of those balls. I mean, we don't get to a lot of those balls. I was surprised, and I don't know if you saw it. I think Ty put a story today. I read the headline, but I didn't read it about about Castellanos being one of the worst outfielders in baseball. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at some of that.
No, I've read it. I've read it's in defensive runs saved and outs above average. He's never graded out well, which he pointed out in the story, but he's grading out even worse this year. I think the thing with him, he makes the plays he gets to. He doesn't get to balls that a lot of other guys would get to. He doesn't have a great arm. So, yeah, I mean, he's statistically not a good defender.
Look, defensively, I mean, Kepler in right, in left March, and in center Rojas, it doesn't get any better than that in baseball. I mean, if you have those three guys.
Yeah.
So if they haven't played Rojas and Kepler is maybe on a platoon, maybe that's how you're going to see we're going to be closing games. Maybe those guys coming in for the first defensive purposes at the end of games. So
Rob Thompson's been hesitant to do that in past years. I think it makes sense on paper, but they haven't done it, I think, out of respect for Castellanos. But, yeah, certainly that's their best defensive outfield.
The objective is to win the World Series.
At a certain point, I know Rob Thompson, he's really a player's manager, but at a certain point, Castellanos not comfortable with this. Bohm's more comfortable at third. Okay, but somebody's in charge of the team, and somebody just needs to tell people where to go. And I think that's Rob Thompson.
Yeah, someone should ask, John, you would know this. Danny Ozark kept in Greg Luzinski out of respect in 1977.
Yep.
Really worked out well for him.
Yeah, Tyler joins the party here. Tyler, how are you, man?
Hey, I'm doing well. How's everyone else doing?
We're doing good. We're doing
awesome.
Good. We're doing good. Let me go the next few slides, which are the big slides. Let me put them. By the way, Jeff have been all over the world since, Tyler have been all over the world since we last spoke. So you'll tell us in a minute, Tyler. But this is kind of an eye chart, but is that I try to put it every week. Is where we are. So we have three guys that are above, kind of at the top of the. Both green and yellow are above the average on OPS. So you see Schwarber there, Harper, Turner, Kemp joins that list at 766, Nick Castellanos at 750, and then everybody else. Baum is kind of at the borderline, and I have him as a lad in red, but he's definitely moving up. And then you see Max Kepler, and you start seeing March, JT Realmuto. I mean, I see Bryson Stott here, and it's a shame. I mean, look at the last the last week. I mean, what is Bryson Stott doing down here? I mean, this guy's a much better player than this. I mean, he's popping out those fly balls. I mean, I love the guy. I mean, he's second base. I mean, the way he plays second, he's one of our best defensive players.
And he sees a lot of pitches. What did he see today, Tim? 31?
Yeah, I just think at a certain point, it's not good to see that many pitches because some of those balls you should be hitting in play instead of fouling it off. And he's not doing that. So I do think it's getting to the point where you have to consider alternative arrangements at second base if he doesn't get going, whether that's Sosa gets more time, Wilson, Kemp, whoever. Like, it's not good enough. The bat speed has been really slow, and he's just not hitting pitches that he should hit. And it's great to see pitches, but eventually they need more than that.
You know, Tim, it's funny. Like, everybody wants to prematurely talk about Kemp in left field. And, like, second base may be an option, too. He's played there in Lehigh and in Red.
That's a great point, Jeff. I mean, the flip side of having, not enough outfielders is they're chock full of infielders.
One of the persons that have the most perspective on Otto Kemp and first of all, Darryl Hall as a clarifying. Darryl Hall is playing in the. I saw him in one of the Pirates games in the minor leagues in the spring training, and he's playing in the AAA level with the Pirates in the Pirates organization. Otto Kemp had played left field. He was in the Arizona Fall League. He played left field in the Arizona Fall League, and he's been doing that also at Lehigh Valley. And Otto Kemp also have played first base in Jersey Shore, in Reading, and in Lehigh Valley. So I mean, look, he's not learning how to play first base in the major league. So just for clarity.
He is learning how. He may very well have played. He's learning.
He's not a great first baseman.
He told me he's only played 30 total games at first base.
Yeah, Jeff and I have been out there. You've been out there, Oscar. He is learning how to play first base. And as far as Derek Hall, I was wrong on that, but I'd rather be playing in Korea than at AAA for the Pirates.
Okay. Hey, you never know. You could be a call away, man, if you're the Pirates.
Jay Cave is raking in Korea.
Yeah.
I'll take AAA of the Pirates because I'm a step closer to the mayor. So, but playing for the Pirates is it's not easy, even though they swept us. I'm never gonna forget them sweeping us here. So, look, this week was amazing, right? Everybody, look, Kepler, March, Alec Bohm. I mean, what happened to Brandon March? Can we see the version of Brandon March that hit this week, every week in baseball? I mean, the guy was, 7 out of 12? I mean, starting today. I mean, he was amazing.
I mean, he's hitting 320 since May 1st. Like, this has been coming.
And I joked in the broadcast today with regards to JT Realmuto that I would put a fine on JT Realmuto if he hits to left field. Look, when that guy hits to right field, that guy have always, I remember coming up, he would get those doubles to right center field. Why is he hitting that way? I mean, he hit rockets this week to right field. I mean, amazing. So I would throw a fine. I mean, he's going to kill me for this one, but he's such a great guy that I love the guy. But I love when he hits toward the right side. And he got a base hit today, and we saw it all week long. So he had a 980 OPS. Otto Kemp had 898. I mean, Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner. I mean, Nick Castellanos. I mean, we basically were amazing this week. Only guys that did not play, which is, by the way, Rojas had not got a hit like in 2 weeks. And then Bryson Stott, he was 20? He was like 4 for 20. I mean, he did not have a good week at all. So.
You know how well this team is hitting, especially Brandon Marsh got a hit off a left-handed pitcher this week. So that's when you know
today. Was it today?
No, it was today. I thought it was yesterday.
Or it could have been yesterday. Yeah. But he was amazing. Look, our starting pitching, this is kind of the beauty. What Ranger Suarez is doing is incredible. He's at the top now of ERA, even though he had that huge, that awful first game. His ERA at 2.32. Then you got Mick Abel at 2.35. Even though Mick Abel, his last 2 start has not been as strong as the first one he had. Orion Kirkering, you see him there sitting third on ERA. Alvarado will be coming at 270 in August 16th. Is that 16th?
19th.
Tyler, is that when he's 19th when he's coming back?
Yeah,
and 19th. Then you have Wheeler at 276. and Christopher Sanchez at 308. I mean, those guys are amazing. And then you got the ones that are at 3s, and then everybody else is at 4th in terms of ERA, including Romano at the bottom at 7.11. Maybe he should go to 7.11 once in a while.
That's a pretty big red box. I think I take a little bit of comfort in the fact that there are a lot of names on there that aren't going to get meaningful innings in October.
Or a lot of guys that aren't here anymore, like Carlos Hernandez.
Yeah, or aren't even here. But Romano, that's one guy that, he can't be at the bottom of that list for the.
Here's the last 2 weeks. Here are the numbers for the last 2 weeks, and then we'll move to talk about the All-Star game. So look at Ryan Kerkering. He has not allowed a run in 6 games in the last 15 days or last 2 weeks.
He has not allowed a run since May 4th or May 6th, something like that. It's ridiculous.
I mean, Strom, outside of that home run, I think that he allowed. I think we lost the game with that home run, didn't we?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
Brewers
well,
game.
we didn't because he would have gotten a loss there. So he's 0-0. He's at 180. Christopher Sanchez has pitched better over the last 3 games, which is great to see at 225. Zach Wheeler is out of this world. Quick question for you guys. Why are we talking, I mean, the news that Zach Wheeler will retire in 2 I mean, he mentioned it after he signed a new deal. Why is this news today?
3 or 4 times. I don't understand. This morning I was ripping my hair out at all these outlets saying, oh my God, Zach Wheeler, he's been saying it for years. By the way, the Matt Gelb story that he said it in was a really good story. I would highly suggest reading it. Nothing against that story. And he didn't present it as new news either, because it's not. Zach Wheeler has said that repeatedly.
He said it a number of times. I mean, it's not the first time he says it. I mean, he said it that he will retire. Maybe he changed his mind. I mean,
I know that Bob Nightingale put out an article this morning that said it like it was brand new news, and then everyone kind of picked it up.
Well,
but maybe it just didn't go on national.
Here it gets picked up there, and it's like Fox sees ESPN has a tweet about this. We better slap together our own graphic.
The other thing about the Nightingale thing is he didn't credit where it came from. He just presented it as new information without any of the context. So that I thought was wrong. I don't get why some of these outlets have such a problem linking to other people's stories.
Yeah, I'll never understand that as someone who never gets his stories linked. I'll just
this is
Tim's the same way. John's the same way.
I'll show you the splits. I was doing the splits just trying to look at some of the dynamics here. So this is hitting and pitching, and sorry for the I should have expanded the March, April here. So this is March, April, May, and June. So I mean, interesting. Not surprising, right? 367 are runs per game in hitting in the months of June. That's what we have now. I did it yesterday, so it was 6 and 7 now, and our OPS have been going down. So it was down in the month of June. Maybe it went up. I mean,
it had to go up today. They had
it went up
hits.
today. But this was interesting. Our ERA is lower in June than it's been over the previous previous 2 months. So that was a surprise to me. And then the other thing that surprised to me about this, I mean, not with win and losses and how much you get, but take a look at the away ERA of the Phillies. So our ERA away from home is lower than at home. I mean, that one surprised me. I would not have expected that when I see Christopher Sanchez.
They keep the ball in the yard a lot on the road. I think that's why that is.
Well, they also had that one game against the Brewers that was an outlier that drug everything down. The Luzardo start where you gave up however many runs.
12 runs in 4 innings or whatever it was.
Yeah, but he had 1 away and 1 at home, right? When he did that.
Well, yeah, but he had the 1 away. I'm trying to think how many runs. They gave up 17 against the Brewers. Was that it? How many did they actually give up in the whole game against the Blue Jays?
I'm not sure. I don't remember that. I mean, I don't remember the exact number, but again, it called my attention that the numbers were, and I know that this year Christopher Sanchez have been better on the road, so that's a good sign. That's a good thing to see. Let me see what we have. I mean, I have some of the old ones here. Let's talk about the All-Star game, guys. Tyler, you want to kick us off? I mean, how do you see kind of the All-Star game? I mean, your perspective in general, and then we can go back and look at some of the guys.
Yeah, so Luzardo's 2 starts, I do think would have taken him out of the running, although I probably still would have chose him for it. But Wheeler and Schwarber are definitely getting in, and I think Sanchez should also be getting the call as well. I would have chosen Ranger as well, but I don't know. Missing the first month might really harm him on that front.
Yeah, I think part of the issue with Ranger is you're going to have other pitchers in other teams that have pitched the entire year that are going to have more strikeouts. But I mean, let's see.
I will say that this does help that Ranger Suarez was an all-star already, so the reputation's there.
Yeah, but he didn't go, right? I mean, he had to stay.
No, he didn't.
But he still got picked.
Right, and last year Sanchez got added as an as a replacement, and I feel like Zach Wheeler's going to be in the All-Star game. I feel pretty comfortable saying that. I think Trey Turner is probably going to be in the All-Star game, and then you have a bunch of other guys: Suarez, Sanchez, Luzardo, that I bet won't get picked on the first time through. They might, depending on how they do the next month, but guys are going to drop out. There's going to be guys that pitched on Sunday, so they can't pitch Tuesday in the All-Star game. I bet at least one of those three ends up in the All-Star game as well. And whether it's Suarez or Sanchez, I mean, that would be each one of them, it would be their second in a row. And if it's Luzardo, that would also be impressive too.
Yeah. John, any perspective in terms of the All-Star?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that immediately jumps out at me looking at these pictures from last year is the second half of the season can go a lot differently than the first half of the season.
So don't go veto. I mean, the Phillies veto.
Well, I'm looking at Bohm, and I just remember all the fun around the All-Star break with Bohm last year. And
70 RBIs or 77 RBIs in the first half and like 20 in the second half of the year.
Fire.
I mean, this team had 29-6 stretch in the first half, like at one point in the first, what was it around this time last year? They just got back from the London series.
Yeah, it was around this time, June 6th-ish.
Yeah, that May was fun last year. I'll just say that.
I mean, Harper is probably not going to make it this year. I mean,
no,
he's not going to make it. So it's unfortunate because how many years have he gone? 7.
He's gone 8. He wasn't going to make it, I don't think, regardless, because Freddie Freeman is having an insane year. Why am I blanking? Matt Olson, the All-Star game's in Atlanta, and is probably having a better year. And there's a third first baseman that I'm blanking on that's like a slam dunk All-Star too in the NL. But yeah, I don't think he's going to make it this year anyway. And let's be real, he's going to be in it next year.
Yeah, it's not the first baseman of the San Francisco Giants. Who's the first baseman of the San Francisco Giants?
Rafael Devers.
Yeah, Rafael Devers.
That will be interesting. How about that? Can Devers make it as a first? Look at this. You imagine somebody naming Devers to the All-Star game.
So how does that work with him in the DH category now?
Well, yeah, he needs to be in the All-Star game. He's been great.
I mean, talking about drama, right? I mean, that is drama at his best.
Haven't they had a precedent with this with a couple players a few times? Like they got traded. Wasn't Manny Ramirez technically an All-Star for the AL, even though he got traded to the NL?
No, Manny Machado got traded the day of the All-Star game or something from the Orioles to the. But guys have gotten traded after they've been selected. But this is different because Devers hasn't been selected yet, but his numbers are slam dunk All-Star. The problem is you come to the NL now, and I forgot to mention Kyle Schwarber. I think he'll be an All-Star, although now he's competing against Devers, Ohtani. By the way, Freddie Freeman was the other first baseman, so he's a lock at first base too. But yeah, the power imbalance between the NL and AL is crazy.
Yeah. By the way, do we think Trey Turner is going to get voted in as a starter, or do we just think he's going to go?
I think he'll just go. I think Lindor will be the starter.
Yeah, I agree there.
Yeah, I think between Lindor and Ellie De La Cruz, I mean, they're probably going to have more votes than Turner.
Geraldo Perdomo. There's some good candidates.
Yeah, the question. I think he'll make it. I mean, Trey is really with his bat. He's having an unbelievable year. So I do believe Trey is going to be making it. And then the Wheeler for sure. So my guess is Wheeler and Turner are guaranteed to be in the All. I mean, conceptually guaranteed to be in the All-Star. And then everybody else from there on. I mean, it's going to be depending on what happens. I mean,
I do.
Yeah, I think
Schwarber in the mix.
And Schwarber.
I do think if Ranger has another 2 or 3 starts like he's been, I really do think he's going to go.
It'll be interesting. I mean, look, the guy to me reminds me of. I used to live in Atlanta, and I used to watch Greg Maddox pitch. I mean, and I know, I mean, with his differences, but Maddox was a pitcher. This guy's a pitcher. He knows how to keep everybody off balance. I mean, he truly does an amazing job.
What was Strom's ERA when he made the All-Star game last year? Wasn't it like in the ones?
Yeah, it was under 2. It was well under 2. So
yeah.
Here's another question. This doesn't have to do with the All-Star. In Castellanos for a year, first season under Girardi, he had Castellanos as DH and Schwarber in left field.
Crazy size. If you go back and look at that 22 team,
thank you, Kevin.
We think of the change of manager as being the turnaround, and it was in a way, but it was also.
Well, you got to remember too. Bryce Harper was playing right field at the time.
Bryce Harper played right field for about 2 weeks that season, got hurt, and that was the end of. Then Nick Castellanos had to go play right field. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really get what the point is.
It's Mets propaganda trying to cause to divide. Yes. Go Braves. Go Braves. How about that? And then somebody wants to vote for Otto here. Bodo for the All-Star game.
That'll have to be the right end.
Here's my vote for today.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Otto will get selected for the AAA All-Star game. He just will not be attending.
Yeah, let's go to some additional things. Jeff, you want to take this one?
Oh yeah,
so
it was a fun time on Thursday night. Dusty Watton got in the Baseball Town Hall of Fame, they call it, for the class of 2020. They really were honoring the 2012 team that made the playoffs, and Darren Ruff set the home run record for Rang that year, which was broken by Dylan Cousins since. But he got in. He broke Ryan Howard's home run record, so he got in for that. He had 20 home runs in the month of August, by the way, that year. He basically was like an Otto Kemp at the time. He got on the Phillies radar. Dusty Watton was the guy who called him up, and Trevor May, who is more known for pitching for the Twins and the Mets and everywhere else but the Phillies, because he got traded for Ben Revere, but he had a good year in 2012. So, yeah, those three were honored, and it was really neat. Rob Thompson was there, and Rob was telling me today, I asked him, you have a good time? And he's like, that was the first time I've been there since like 93 or 94. And then we got into like a little like conversation on that. He just couldn't believe how impressive the facility were and like how they treated Dusty and, just the fans. And he was, telling me about some of the players he was actually there to monitor. And, it was a good time. It was, I was happy for Dusty Watton. He's the winningest manager in Rang Phillies history. And they won a lot of games with him there, and they brought up a lot of players. And I think his favorite is still secretly Rhys Hoskins.
Look at that. Look, Dusty is such a wonderful.
He's not Wilson Contreras' favorite, though.
No, he is definitely not.
I love Dusty. I mean, he's such a great guy. He keeps everybody in check in that dugout, and except once in a while, Rojas will run his side. He runs for home plate. So that one, I mean, he's still gonna.
You know what, Oscar? I got a fun story from Dusty on Thursday. Like he says about someone asked him if he has any aspirations of actually being a major league manager. He said, you know what? He said he's so invested in the game. He loves being a third base coach. He said because he views it as like when he was a player, like it's your fault if a guy screws up, and you get more of the blunt than you do. But he says he feels like he's a part of the game when he's a third base coach. He said, and he'll be a third base coach as long as he wants.
Look at what our dear friend Nick just sent. I trust Kerr more than Romano right now, and not even a criticism on Romano. Probably their most important arm in October. Look, it's interesting. I know they've been trying to put him there. The question, look, a big part of this game is mental. So I think, look, the talent is there. There's no doubt about that. It's just more a matter of getting mentally prepared for that ninth inning, which is not an easy task. I mean, particularly Madden, in the third game of the postseason, I mean, and you got to come in the ninth inning, either in a tie game or winning by one, and you got the top of the order. I mean, he did an amazing job yesterday. I mean, getting 1, 2, 3, they're big hitters. I mean, Bichette.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero. I mean, hitting at the top of that order. I mean, that was pretty special.
Me too. He got really lucky with Guerrero because he didn't have a sweeper, and he said, "Well, here's the fastball, hit it. It was 3-0, missed outside, but but Guerrero chased and got the pop up to Kemp. So he's like, all right, well, then we got Kerr, and he was able to locate a couple fastballs there, a couple sinkers, and was able to get him on 3-2. So
one last thing on Kerkering, it's still pretty hard to believe that he doesn't have any saves in his career.
That is amazing.
He's also pitched more rehab appearances for Lehigh than he actually has innings, which is kind of nuts.
That's hilarious.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Look, let's talk a little bit about Andrew Painter. So Andrew had a great start today against the same team, which are the I'm not going to pronounce this in
Worcester.
English.
Yeah, Worcester.
I was going to say Worcester.
No, that ain't it. Worcester.
The Worcester Red Sox that got him for 6 runs and 2 home runs last time. Well, he went out there 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 base on balls, and 6 strikeouts. So kudos to Andrew Painter for coming out there and showing what he's capable of doing. These are his AAA numbers prior to today's start. I did this last night, and I just added what he did today. So, I mean, look, kudos to Andrew Painter. He's going to be here somewhere around July-ish. We'll see how soon he'll be, but he's definitely
Tim, where's your joke at? Where is it, Tim?
Repeat that.
July-ish. Where's your joke at?
July-ish. It could be August. It could be June. It won't be June.
Look, the All-Star game. When is? By the way, you would know this, Jeff. When is the? Do you know when the minor leagues and when is the minor league system All-Star game?
It should be the same. It should be the same time as the Major League All-Star game.
Okay,
same week.
So
yeah,
the All-Star game is July 15th. I have a calendar here. So it's July 15th, and we're back playing on July 18th. So that's probably the timing. And I mean, both Thompson said that he would get a break before joining us. So I'm guessing around the 18th he'll be up. I mean, it'll be very, very interesting what this team does with the bullpen. That I'm puzzled to see what's going to happen. And then the trading deadline is the 30th,
31st.
The 31st.
So there actually is no AAA All-Star game anymore. As far as that's what it says on here. I don't think that's right though.
There's like the international league. There's the different leagues have their own.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, that's in Worcester. So they have one.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to be international versus Pacific Coast. Now it's July 22nd, so it's a week after.
Okay, got it. So look, we're gonna see Painter around that timing, and he's gonna be very, very special. I am puzzled to see how they're gonna address the bullpen and who is moving to the bullpen, who's staying. Have Mick one question, and I'll try to find an answer for next week. Have Mick Abel ever been a reliever? And I don't know, maybe you guys can look at it in Baseball Reference while I do this.
No, never.
He's never relieved. So
no, it's like I don't think Mick Abel's going to be an option to go to that bullpen.
Yeah. So again, it's going to be very, very interesting, and how we prepare for a potential October showdown in the playoffs. So
I'm really confused on. We were talking about Kerkering, getting the higher leverage stuff. Like, could he possibly be the 9th inning guy? Like at this time, like in September, October? I guess it all depends who they get.
Yeah, I think they're going to trade for somebody.
Again,
they're going to have to, right?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
They should get back Carlos Estevez.
No comment. No comment. Well, here are the 2 players of the week in our minor league system. Felix Reyes, 24-year-old Dominican. He's in AA Reading. You know him well, Jeff, by being in Reading many times. He basically took over when not Otto Kemp. Who was the guy that was move up for Otto Kemp? Who's playing first base for Lehigh?
Keaton Anthony.
Yeah, so he's basically taking over and having more playing time. And look, he went 467 for the week, 2 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs. These are his stats over the last week. So, I mean, pretty impressive numbers on 1.662 OPS. So, pretty impressive numbers for him. He can play the outfield, third base, and first base.
Felix Reyes
hit back to the outfield.
Felix Reyes hit a shot off the Renters Event Center on Thursday night that caught a lot of people in the Phillies organization's attention. I'll just say that.
Yeah. So, and then the other one, the minor league player of the week is from the Florida Complex League, Brad Pacheco. He's a Venezuelan guy from a place. What's the name of the? I forgot the guy that was playing second base for the Giants that got moved to Colorado. You remember Tim?
Tyro Estrada.
Tyro Estrada. He's from the same city from Behuma. A real warm place, I can tell you. In June, he had 2 starts. He's 2-0, 12 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 3 base on balls, and 13 strikeouts. I mean, this guy looks the part, and I think he's going to be helping us significantly down the road as he continues to go up the ladder. So those are 2 minor leaguers, players of the week. Thank you, Steve, for all your help. And then here's what's coming up, and then we'll talk a little bit about we finished with the Devers trade and the implications of that for the National League, because I think it's a huge boost to the San Francisco Giants offense, getting a guy like Devers. That guy is a real deal.
Yeah. You know what, Oscar? I think they went from like a fringe like playoff team to a team that's probably going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, I had the Milwaukee Brewers making the playoffs instead of San Francisco. I might change my mind after Devers joins that team. That guy is a real deal. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes, and maybe we'll talk about it. Let's talk about it right now. How long, I mean, is it going to take him to adjust to the National League? It'll be very interesting.
I don't think it'll take any time.
Yeah, new pitchers. I mean, the guy's a real. I mean, he can. I mean, the guy's a real deal. I mean, in the middle of that lineup. I mean, it's going. I mean, they got right now Lee, Heliot Ramos. I can guarantee you that this guy will be the either second or third hitter in that lineup.
Oh, yeah. Oscar. But by the way, Steve just told me there are no more minor league All-Star games anymore. They're all done. That COVID it ended. So
okay, got it.
Yeah.
But as far as Devers, I mean,
thank you, Steve.
I agree with what Jeff had to say. They basically go from a fringe team. I would have had them out to now they're in. And I guess the interesting ripple effect, does this make it even more certain that the Diamondbacks are going to be sellers? Because if the Diamondbacks are sellers, whether it's the Phillies trade for someone on their team or other teams trade for somebody on their team, I mean, they could run the trade deadline if they decide to sell.
And the implications to San Diego and the Dodgers with having that guy hitting. I mean, they got great pitching. I mean, they got one of the best pitching staffs in baseball with Logan Webb and Ray. I mean, this team, I mean, they just basically transformed their team overnight. I know they lost a couple pitchers in Hicks and Harrison. Harrison is a good prospect. His is a great arm, but has been he just had Tommy Young a couple of years ago. I mean, it's very, very interesting.
If this is the most, like, I know all the reports have been they're going to get.
Well, hold on 1 second. Go ahead. Sorry, I should have done this.
I know the reports are that they're going to get more than just those 2, but if it is just those 2, that is a disaster of a trade for the Red Sox, because Devers is a big contract. I actually think it's team friendly relatively, and I know that the things had fallen out and he didn't maybe act like a leader or whatever the case is. He's a Hall of Fame caliber hitter at his prime, signed to a team-friendly deal, and you bungled this so badly that you had to move him in the middle of the season for what doesn't look like a very good return. I mean, it's a disaster.
And you know what interesting thing about this trade is that I know that the Giants have always they fell behind on the Aaron Judge sweepstake. I don't know if they were going to be up in the Vladimir Guerrero. I know last year, what was the other player, or Soto?
They were on the Bryce Harper sweepstakes.
Exactly. Yeah. They didn't go there, and they went out and acquired this guy, which I found. I mean, they got their they got their salary as well. But it's an amazing. I mean, I think it's an amazing trade for the Giants. I mean,
yeah, I don't know if Buster Posey is a genius or this just fell into his lap, but either way. They've struggled to get somebody there. Now you have somebody, and he's going to be there a long time. You have Chapman. Willie Adames has been terrible, so they need to figure that out. But the Giants are like a real team now.
The Giants also gave up their first-round draft pick from last year, but still, it didn't seem like a lot. But I guess taking the contract of a player that can really have a diminished effect at third base and looks like to be a permanent DH. You know, maybe they just see it. It's like wiping their hands clean, the Red Sox, and the Giants are taking some risk, but it's a huge move for them because they need those big bats. And I think they have the payroll flexibility to be fine with taking that contract.
Wiping your hands clean of a guy that's going to have like a 900 OPS is an interesting strategy.
Yeah.
And they still have too many outfielders.
Yeah, they got too many outfielders. I mean, what's the name of the guy that Duran? I mean,
Jalen Duran.
I'll take Duran any day of the week. That guy's a talent. I mean, that
Or
guy could solve, he could solve 2 issues at once. I mean, for the Phillies. I mean,
Duran or Abreu.
Yeah, Abreu. I mean, I'll take Duran ahead of Abreu, but I understand what you're saying. I mean, they would be, and they have so many outfielders, and now with Roman, and they sat him yesterday. I mean, the guy is your top prospect. I mean, they sat him yesterday against a lefty. I mean, you can sit him against Kubo, but don't sit him against who was pitching for. It was not Crochet was pitching for the Red Sox. I don't know who was pitching for the whatever.
It was either Rodon. The bottom line, I think it was Rodon.
Rodon, yeah, for the Yankees. I mean, I would not have sit him. I mean, I would not have sat the guy. I mean,
I have no idea what the Red Sox are doing at this point. But then again, this is the same franchise that traded Babe Ruth and they traded Mookie Betts, so it is what it is.
Absolutely. Well, let's go to our chart on around the schedule. So this is the plan. So we're playing Miami for 4 games. We got Cable, Luzardo, and Suarez. By the way, and then we have for the Miami. So we have Abel, Luzardo, Suarez, and Sanchez for the Miami series. Then we got Wheeler, Abel, and Luzardo against the Mets, and then we go to Houston and then Atlanta, which is no go Atlanta there, by the way. No go Braves by then. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, Oscar. But between the end of this stretch after Miami and their July, there's some big series coming up.
There are some big series coming up. Absolutely. Look, here's where each team is. I mean, the Phillies are 9th in hitting and 20th in pitching. Look how much we came down to this week with what we did this week. I did this last night. And then Miami, 410 in terms of runs per game. They're 23rd and they're 28th in pitching. We need to exploit that pitching big time. And then the Mets, they're hitting. I don't know, Tim, can you talk through that? What's happened to the Mets hitting? I mean, they were like 25th in baseball like 4 weeks ago. They're 7th now. I don't know. Any perspective, guys?
I mean, they played the White Sox and the Rockies.
Brilliant move. That's a good one. That's a good one, Tyler. That's a good one.
So looking at the schedule, anytime we look at the probable pitchers, that it sort of gets me more optimistic about the Phillies again, if I'm feeling down, because you just look at those starters and you're like, all right, they're going to be fine. I'm particularly excited to see if Abel continues his success and really solidifies himself as legit in this rotation. And that's good if you're keeping him, and that's good if you're looking to deal him. So we should learn something, especially in that nationally televised game against the Mets.
I'm excited to see tomorrow the matchup. You have Abel against Alcantara. Alcantara looked pretty good his last start. And obviously the Phillies aren't going to be in the market for a big starter, but like the Cubs, the Padres, some teams that they could be competing with potentially in the postseason would be in play for Alcantara. So if he gets going, I think he will have an impact on the playoff race this year. So maybe not a direct impact on the Phillies, but tomorrow's start's important more than just winning the game.
Yeah, two things. Abel, to me, his next 2 starts are going to be very telling in terms of where he is, at least in the short term in this team, and how he's going to fare. When I mean short term, I'm talking this year. He could be a trade target or not. I mean, somebody that the Phillies could trade. But it's going to be very, very telling how effective he is against the Marlins and especially against the Mets. That is a big – the Mets are going to go with Megal, Canning, and Peterson. Peterson is pitching lights out right now, by the way. He pitched, shutout, a 9-inning shutout the other day. I mean,
Phillies always seem to have trouble with Peterson, too.
Yeah, and Megal and Canning are more manageable.
They are, and they haven't – at least McGill has not been good for the past month, and Canning, I believe, the last 2 starts hasn't been good either.
Now would Senga have been available against the Phillies if he hadn't hurt his hamstring?
I don't think so. I think he would have been before Miguel.
So he probably would have been Wednesday or Thursday, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think Thursday. Also, the Marlins just announced that Cabrera is going Thursday now, and it's TBD for Wednesday. I don't know if that really matters.
That's interesting.
Got it. No,
but by the way, anybody else think it's weird? Like, there's no day games in this; they're all 6:40.
Yeah, why is the one 6:10?
I'm not getting involved, guys. I'm not getting involved. I mean,
this was a conversation in the clubhouse today. Why they're all 6:40 or 6:10 or whatever it is.
It is what it is. I mean,
I'm just old. I missed 7:05. It was always 7:05.
No.
What time's the game? 7:05. You knew.
Look, I know. I think it's a Tuesday that they play the Edmonton Oilers and the. Is that Tuesday?
You know what? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That might be Game 6.
You wouldn't want to stop. You wouldn't want to have too many fans coming out of Lone Depot Park.
They're also not near each other, too. I mean, that's
Look,
Sunrise isn't even near that stadium.
I've been there before. 45 minutes apart from each other. So
yeah.
Just for perspective. So very, very interesting.
Someone's going to have to explain to me why no one goes to Miami Marlins baseball games, but everybody loves the Florida Panthers.
Because they're winning. I mean,
well, Miami won and no one went.
That's a good team.
I mean, Miami, Florida, ice hockey. I mean, come on, dude. I mean,
Tampa Bay Lightning ice hockey.
Yeah,
they're winning, and they give before they were giving free tickets to every.
No, but you bring up a good point. I mean, both of those teams, the Lightning and the Panthers, they win, and they consistently win.
Yeah. You know what? That's what it is. Like in 2003, like people didn't really even jump on the Marlins bandwagon. It's weird.
I mean, I think it would be tough for a lot of reasons to be a Marlins fan, but one of them is, they did build these teams and then immediately had fire sales. So even if you do get invested and have a really great special season, you can't.
How mad would you have been? Like, you win the World Series with Kevin Brown, Levon Hernandez, Rob Nen. Who else was? I mean, Preston Wilson was on that team. God, there's so many good players.
Wilson, my God.
Yeah, Charles Johnson was on that team. I think they traded him. Yeah,
I was not born at the time. Preston Wilson.
97? You weren't born 97?
Hey guys, let's leave it to here so we don't make it too long. Tim Kelly, where can we follow you on social media and all the great work you do with stoplights and all that?
At Tim Kelly Sports on all platforms, and then on Pattison.com and Bleacher Report.
By the way, I was the cameraman the other day for Tim Kelly. You guys are going to have to pay. You and Anthony are paying for that. It's soon enough. Thank you, Tim. Thank you so much for joining us. John, where can we follow you on social media?
It's at 2008 Phils with a Z. That's on Twitter. That's on Blue Sky. That's pretty much it at the moment.
Just for now. What can we tell you? Tyler, where can we follow you on social media?
At Phil's Tailgate. On Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. I'll try to be more active on the other platforms, but
come on.
You're going on Twitter. You don't need all that crap.
I know.
No, come on. Hey guys, always a pleasure, Jeff.
But by the way, we do have an answer for this of how the Marlins could get rid of all these players, since their current GM was their GM at the time is now the Phillies' current GM.
It's our GM.
We could just ask him.
It's our GM.
Yeah, we could just ask him why he sold everybody.
Look, we'll probably do a show. I don't know if it's next week about the trading deadline. We did it a couple weeks ago, kind of a hint. I'm telling you, I'm terrified how much young talent we could be losing. I'm terrified of the potential, how much young talent we could be losing to that bullpen.
I'm always the keep the prospects guy, especially if it's for like a mid player. We'll see.
Look, we have a very small window with Wheeler and Harper.
That's the issue.
That is the issue, and this guy's. I mean, they're a few untouchables, so we know that it's going to be very, very interesting what Dombrowski. I'm more puzzled than the last few years what Dombrowski is going to do, because I'm telling you, every time I see him in the corridor, I said, "I don't want your job. I don't want your job." It's such a hard.
For all the grief we give him, he has a really tough role, especially this year. And that, how do you balance that? Do you want to go all in? And he has gone all in before. Like this is like before. Yeah, but
listen, if he's going to go all in, please be controllable assets. I cannot have another Estevez situation again. Yeah. I did not like that from the beginning. If you're going to give up these guys, I want control.
It's a great point because, I mean, the other way you could go is, like Jeff said, you can keep everybody and take your swing at the postseason this year with who you have, and then look forward to a great future with Painter enabling the rotation.
But by the way, speaking of one of those tradable assets, you guys should have heard how Rob Thompson literally tried to explain Aiden Miller's injury to them. Skin condition. You guys can do the math. I'm just like, come on. Like he had no answer. And then like he looks at a couple people who might know the answer, and I'm like,
so like a skin condition that might be cleared up by antibiotics? Is that what you're saying?
I'll just be as nice as I can on this. He was getting treatment for it on Thursday, and it was day to day. That's all I'm just going with what
I just hope he comes back. I mean, he comes back and comes the way we know he's capable of doing. Guys, thank you so much to Tim that just left, John, Tyler, Jeff. As always, Jeff Kerr at CBS. He's the man. He is the man. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Tyler, I gotta back you up. I gotta back you up on something that you tweeted earlier. So,
what's that?
The whole narrative with Orion and inherited runs.
Yeah, it's tough because if you look back at some of the data too, like a lot of the inherited runners that scored came from Ruiz and Hernandez. And I mean, Kirkring, he's had a few times, but I'm done with those two. I'm
done with that. I'm just gonna tell you guys this. They don't judge relief pitchers on inherited runs ever. Like, I don't know where this ever came from.
No.
Hey, Orion Kirkring, number one. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much. Next week, we're going to do it on Monday. We have an off day after we have a late night on Sunday with the Mets and the Phillies. It's going to be on ESPN, and we're looking forward to having Monday. We're going to have Rob Ellis with us. So looking forward to it. And some of our dear friends, as always, that they're always here. Thank you so much, Tyler, John, Jeff. You guys are the best. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We do this for you guys, and look forward to next week. We'll see you next Monday.
See you guys. Thanks.
Take care. Yeah.
Lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Stott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber Bob, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento. Swing y lo ponchó.